Man, look at this crazy view in front of me. If I told you right now I'm in an infinity pool at the rooftop of my private accommodation that I booked temporarily, you'd probably think I'm on a very expensive vacation. But you'd be wrong. I'm in Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, a city that is very rich in culture, history, and that has some of the most incredible architecture in the whole world. But it's surprisingly not that expensive. It's a global financial hub, but compared to other financial hubs like New York, London, or Singapore, it's surprisingly affordable. So in this video, I'm going to try to set myself a challenge. I'm going to try to fit in as much luxury as I can and as much cultural sightseeing as I can into one video without spending $100. We're gonna learn the story of the city by visiting some of the historic sites, by trying out some local food and not so local food, and we're gonna try to fit in as many luxurious experiences as we can. This is the $100 Kuala Lumpur Affordable Luxury Challenge. Let's do this. So it's 6:45 p.m. and I just landed in Kuala Lumpur in the AirAsia terminal. Apparently there's like 2 airports, one for AirAsia and one for every other airlines. And I'm about to try to cross immigration right now and enter Malaysia for the first time in 17 years, even though I've been to this airport probably 20-30 times the last 10 years. I've made it past immigration, and crossing that immigration took like literally 3 minutes total. That was so fast. They asked like a few questions but didn't even want to see a return tickets or a hotel book. I'm about to head to the center of the city, which is pretty far from here. So the actual city of KL has 2 million people, but the total metropolitan area, including where we're at right now, is 8 million people, which is more than 20% of the 32 million people in all of Malaysia. I'm gonna try to go to the center with this like express metro thing that one of my best friends actually bought me a ticket for. So one of my best friends from high school, he's been living here for more than a decade, and he just got me a ticket. So I guess I got a new sugar daddy. These 2 Punjabi guys really wanted to be in my video.
Channel.
So Nadir on the go.
Never.
Okay. I see the signs in front of me for the express. Somehow this airport turned into a shopping mall and I lost Wi-Fi, but I see a SIM card place in front of me that my friend recommended, so I'm gonna go get that right now. I came in and immediately I was getting the SIM card and met someone working here who was from Bangladesh who recognized me. So it didn't take that long. So when I look at the analytics for my Bengali videos, I always see that Malaysia is in the top 3 for every video. So I guess I'm gonna meet a lot of people who watch my videos over here. So for like $12, I got unlimited data, 200 gigabytes of hotspot.
Hey, you put here!
Okay, I was starving after that flight, so I just got myself a chocolate cake, royal chocolate cake, and the coffee bean at the mall. There's a chocolate cake. Oh, there's 2 sides. There's like a transit one and an express one, and one goes without any stops and the other one like stops a couple of times. Then I got on an airport train that cost around $16 and got a seat in a pretty empty train that took me all the way to KL Central in about 45 minutes. I have arrived in Kuala Lumpur, the cultural, financial, and the tourism capital of Malaysia. This used to be the administrative capital too, but in the 90s they moved it to Putrajaya, which is like an hour to the south, very close to the airport, in an attempt to try to alleviate congestion. Okay, I'm on the streets of Kuala Lumpur with my sugar daddy from back in the day. This is giving me a tour. My sugar daddy's paying for my room deposit right now. Thanks. Welcome to MTV Cribs edition of Kuala Lumpur. Looking good at night. Not bad. Okay, this is my place. It's a pretty good deal for $35. You get it with a person too who's gonna be a roommate for the whole time. Oh, there's a pretty cool view. I think I need my zoom lens to show you properly. But I can see KL 118, which is one of the highest buildings in the world. Not real books, just look like books. So this is the bed. That's my table that I can work from. This is all my stuff. This is all of Onkur's stuff. This is a camera bag I was trying to buy, but all my stuff doesn't fit in there. This is all my stuff. Plates and bowls. And then there's an actual kitchen that I'm not gonna use because I don't cook. And there's a fridge with no food. There's filtered water. We're about to go get some food. Change into shorts. I'm gonna leave this behind. Then I had a small dinner nearby and headed home. Okay, it's 9 a.m. and now I'm gonna go check out the part of this apartment that I'm the most excited about. Alright, so I'm in the rooftop of my place right now on the 53rd floor. It's a pretty cloudy day actually. Hopefully it doesn't rain. So I set everything up and I was ready to film. and it started pouring. So I had to pick up all my cameras and stuff in this little shade here. Hopefully it'll slow down soon so I can get back in there with the cameras. I've been basically stuck here for the last 10 minutes. The weather might be crap, but at least I can get some breakfast. Wow, looks like the rain has completely stopped somehow. And I'm going for breakfast. And look who's joined me. He picked me up from the airport last night. Oh, and the taxi took like $3.50, like 15 ringgits to get here. So the guy who's working here turned out to be my viewer. He just got us 2 free, really nice looking, nice cappuccinos with like a teddy bear on top of it. We're also getting some complimentary soda lime. My food has arrived. This juice, watermelon, is 13 ringgits. And this is 35 ringgits. It's avocado on toast with halloumi cheese. Okay, time to try this out. This looks delicious. Try that cheese. This is really good. Oh, wow. Really nice combination. Let's try the juice too. So I went to bed to take a nap and I woke up and it's 2 p.m. and it's sunny. So maybe I can get in the pool right now. Yeah, this is much, much better. I was about to start filming and I dropped this mic in the pool. Hopefully it's gonna work. This is actually really nice. Sometimes I forget how nice it is to be in the pool. On a hot day. It's not even super sunny, which I like, because I know people like the sun, but you know, Asians don't usually love the sun that much. It's cloudy enough just to be bearable, but it's also hot enough to enjoy the pool. Okay, I'm gonna get out now. I'm back in my room, and what I have to say is that this place also has a really impressive co-working space and also a gym. Like, it doesn't have a lot of equipment, but looked more than good enough, although I don't have time to work out right now because it's pretty late and I want to see the rest of the place. All in all, it's not bad at all for $34 a night. Now I'm gonna do a quick recap of the history of this country, and for that I'm gonna go to the most historical part of town. That's actually like a 45-minute walk away, but I'm just gonna start walking that way and then get a taxi if I feel like I'm getting too hot. Okay, there's a cat. A kitty. And for this video, I'm being followed by this person that I've never met. We just met on the elevator. Her name is Leonie, not Looney. This is what I thought. And I guess we're going the same way. Oh crap, but I guess we're going the same way. We're walking through these tight alleys with colorful buildings and vendors selling different kinds of food. And we're right underneath like a monorail train. I guess this is like their subway, but goes above the ground and you can hear the announcements of trains. There's a lot happening in the city. I'm in front of the mall that basically has a train station where I came out yesterday. So modern humans have lived in the area that is Malaysia today for over 40,000 years. And this whole region has been heavily involved in maritime trade for over 4,000 years. Now, historically, the ethnically Malay people have lived here in fragmented segments that were not politically connected, but were very similar culturally. This place where we're at right now, Kuala Lumpur, essentially is the halfway point between the trading routes from India to China. And these trade links with India and China were established more than 2,000 years ago, which explains why the two biggest ethnicities after ethnic Malays in Malaysia right now are ethnic Chinese and ethnic Indian people. Although right now I have to say there are a lot of Bangladeshis. So early on in its history there were some Hindu and Buddhist kingdoms in the region. Then there were a few very powerful Islamic sultanates that controlled much of the region. Then came the Christian colonizers. First the Portuguese, then the Dutch, then the British. Now all this to explain why this place is so diverse, both ethnically and in religious terms. When you're looking at the religious breakdown, Islam is followed by around 63% of people, Buddhism is followed by over 18%, Christianity by over 9%, and Hinduism by over 6%. Ethnically, Malays make up almost 70%, the Chinese make up around like 22%, and Indians make up 7%, although that is changing wildly, like I said, as more and more people are coming in. As in a lot of bigger cities in Asia, ethnic Chinese make up a larger proportion in the cities than they do in the total country. So under British colonial rule, this place was basically a plantation economy. Rubber was introduced in 1877 and then palm oil. So the Brits basically encouraged indentured labor from India and China to come in and help with these plantations. And then during World War II, this place was occupied by the Japanese by a couple of years. And once the Japanese finally left, the colonies started to see large or widespread anti-colonial sentiments, and a communist civil war basically broke out. So in the middle of all this chaos in 1957, the Federation nation of Malaya was created. In 1963 that evolved into Malaysia, which back then also included Singapore. And then in 1965 Singapore was sort of forced out of Malaysia and the modern day borders of Malaysia were finally finalized. So right now I'm in Merdeka Square. Interestingly, Jakarta also has a place named Merdeka Square, and the reason is the word Merdeka means the same thing in both languages. It means freedom or independence, and the languages of Indonesia and Malaysia are very, very similar actually. If you want to watch one of my worst videos I ever made, you can go back to my 2017 video from Merdeka Square in Jakarta. The Merdeka Square in Jakarta was actually created to celebrate independence from the Dutch who colonized Indonesia, and this was created to celebrate independence from the Brits. In 1957, when this became an independent country for the first ever time, the Union flag or the British flag was lowered, and then the Malaysian flag was raised in this massive flagpole that looks like it's more than 50 stories high, or at least 30 stories, for the first ever time. And to this day, this place hosts annual Independence Day parades celebrating the independence of Malaysia. So right next to me is the Sultan Abdul Samad building, which looks like a really gorgeous building. This was originally the government offices of the colonial British administration. After independence, it became the Federal Courts of Malaysia. Once the administrative capital was actually moved to Putrajaya, this became the office of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism and the Office of Communications. Although right now it looks like it's heavily under renovation, it's all covered up and I can hear construction noises, but if you look at the pictures in Google Images or Google Maps, it'll look like this beautiful colonial building, and by the time you come here, hopefully they will be done with the renovation so you can actually see the building. Right next to the Sultan Abdul Samad building is the Sultan Abdul Samad Mosque, which is right behind me, which was built over 100 years ago and is one of the central mosques of Kuala Lumpur. You can say the biggest religion still to this day in Malaysia is Islam, like I said earlier. And this guy, Sultan Abdul Samad, was a very prominent sultan in the late 19th century in this region, which is why there's so many important buildings named after him. Just as we're talking, the call to prayer started in the mosque, and I have to say the buildings around this area are really pretty as well. Right behind me, right here, is the Medan Pasar Clock Tower, which was built in 1937 to commemorate the coronation of King George V of the British Empire, when this was part of the British Empire. So you don't have to go too far to see things that will remind you of the British Empire in the city. And you also don't have to go too far to find people filming TikTok dances. So now we're gonna go to Chinatown, which is the most historic part of this city. That's only like a 4-minute walk away from here. There's like so many Bangladeshis in the city. You can tell by the writing on the shops behind me that I'm in proper Chinatown right now. The history of Kuala Lumpur doesn't actually go as far back as other cities in Malaysia like Malacca or even like Georgetown, which is a colonial city. So basically in the 1850s, this became the center of a tin rush, and Chinese miners and traders came and settled here. That's how this became a bustling trade hub and a city. And the origins of this place as a trading hub is actually older than the country of Malaysia. By the 1900s, Malaysia had actually become the biggest tin producer in the whole world. So right in the heart of Chinatown is the Sinsesiya Temple, if I'm pronouncing that right, which was built in 1864 and is the oldest Chinese temple in the whole city. Unfortunately, it's closed right now except for these cars that seem to be coming out, and I guess they're going to close down the gate. It's closed right now, so it's open from 7 to 5 p.m. and it's already 5 p.m. and I got out of the house way too late today. On the same street is another historic temple called the Guandi Temple, which is the oldest Taoist temple in Kuala Lumpur and more than 130 years old. Right next to all the temples is the Sri Mahama Damian Temple, which is the oldest Hindu temple. And you can go in there with shoes. I'm renting out a pair of slippers, which cost 20 cents. I didn't have cash, and this gentleman was kind enough to help me out with the change. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm in this temple with a lot of beautiful statues of Hindu gods and some people dressed up in religious attire. The language I'm hearing of the people around me are surely people from South India, of South Indian descent at least. I know that because I understand a lot of languages in India, in northern India especially, or anything close to Bangladesh. I do not understand a word of anything that's spoken in South India. What's really cool, what I like about this place, is that the oldest Hindu temples, the oldest Buddhist temples, the oldest Chinese temples, all are in literally a street, maybe like 300 meters away from each other. other. That just goes to show you how multicultural the core of the city and the history of this country of Malaysia is. So along with nice breakfast, it's also good to get a taste of the local culture. So I'm going to try to find some Malaysian or Chinese food in Petaling Street, which is the main Chinatown market in this area. Okay, I figured before going to Chinatown, now is a good time to get some cash. Malaysian ringgit. I got 200 ringgits, which is $50 US. Okay, this is a jam-packed market. Looking at all these things around me reminded me that I do need to buy them.
I'm a huge fan.
Are you?
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Wait, are you from the UK or Bangladesh?
Yeah,
or like...
I'm Bangladeshi, but originally...
Okay, I was like, your accent sounds very British. Okay, now I'm gonna try to find some fake Ray-Bans, which is what I usually wear, because my last pair of fake Ray-Bans that I bought literally in the last country broke in my pockets. So hopefully this place should have another one. I know this is not part of the luxury challenge, but I need sunglasses and I can't buy luxurious sunglasses because I literally break them every 1 month, even if they're original ones. How much is this? Or this?
45.
This one looks nice. Might get a few. It's 100. Thank you, brother. So I got 4 pairs of Ray-Bans for 100 ringgits.
You YouTuber?
Yes, I am.
You have 1 million?
I do, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go. Di Mataibi.
You wanted to make sure I had 1 million subs before saying something. But I got 4 sunglasses for 100 ringgits, which is I think $25, which is like more than the $5 per glasses I usually pay in Asia, but it's fine. Hopefully they'll last me forever. I'll like just start carrying them extra ones in my bag. So when I break one, I don't go without sunglasses for a week. Starting price, they told me was like 45. I said 25 and they were like, okay, fine. I feel like I should have bargained more. How was it? Okay, now with the sunglasses out of the way, time to get some food because I am starving. And then we can continue with the tour of Malaysia and its story. They're making like chestnuts. No, they're preparing chestnuts for serving here. They're like being heated right now. I need something more solid. Is this durian?
Yeah, yep, nangka, jackfruit.
I found a Chinese restaurant in the middle of Chinatown, so I'm gonna go inside and try out their food. Sweet and sour rice with chicken. It looks like this for 1 person?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 Coke Zero, please. Thank you. What's your name, brother?
Frankie.
Frankie? Okay. We have Frankie serving us some sweet and sour rice with chicken and a Coke Zero. I'm excited. So all that together costs like 23 ringgits, I think, which is like $6 or $5. My sweet and sour chicken and rice is here, so I'm super excited to try that out. Let's break it up. It smells so good. This is delicious. Maybe it's not luxury, but it's pretty good food at a restaurant and it costs $5. Right next to Chinatown is this massive building called Merdeka Tower or Merdeka 118 with 118 floors, which is around almost 700 meters high and over 2,200 feet high. And this is not only the tallest building in Malaysia that I could see from my room last night, that I could see from the temples in Chinatown, basically anywhere in the city, but this is the 2nd highest structure in the whole world, only behind the Burj Khalifa. This is not entirely complete, even though parts of it, like the lobby and I believe the top should be open right now. People are often surprised when they hear that the 2nd highest building in the world is here in Malaysia because people don't realize how rich the country of Malaysia is. It is actually one of the richest countries in Southeast Asia. So during the 20th century, Malaysia was actually the largest producer in the world of tin, palm oil and rubber at different points throughout the century. Now in the post-colonial years, the commodity exports were the main source of income still, but over time the economy transitioned from being reliant on these colonial era commodities to having a diversified industrialized model. Then in the early 1970s, large offshore reserves of oil was discovered off the coast of Malaysia. More on that in the Brunei video. So then in 1974, Petronas was established as a fully state-owned enterprise to manage the country's newfound wealth in oil and gases. Now the oil and gas revenue fund started paying for many national infrastructure projects, including the famous Petronas Twin Towers and the whole city of Putrajaya. And you have to remember the Petronas Twin Towers, at one point, these buildings were the highest in the whole world for 4 years. So in the first half of the 1990s, just based on this export-driven growth, per capita income actually doubled in Malaysia just in the early 1990s. But then again, there was the big Asian crisis or the ASEAN crisis in the late 90s, for which the economy took a tumble. But then in the 2000s, 2000s, Malaysia adopted again and became a tech hub and one of the world's top exporters of semiconductor components, electronics, and ICT products. So all this rapid industrialization turned KL into a financial hub, and it is a global finance center only behind Singapore in the whole region of Southeast Asia. And the infrastructure here, I have to say, is world class. Maybe you've seen my video from the Philippines and Manila and BGC. Now, parts of Kuala Lumpur actually looks a lot like BGC, which is also very advanced. But the difference is the infrastructure that Kuala Lumpur has and how easy it is to get around the city from point A to point B using public transportation. Manila definitely didn't have that. And getting around Manila was quite the nightmare. Since the 2010s, the economy here has become very diverse and mature indeed. A lot of people aren't aware of this, but today Malaysia is an upper income country with a multi-sector economy that is based on both manufacturing and services like tourism, finance, and education. The last part is interesting because I know a lot of friends from Bangladesh who actually came to Malaysia for education. Some moved on to Australia, some stayed here, some went on to different places to have great jobs, but this is a big spot for Asian people to come for higher education. Okay, right now I am in Bukit Bintang, which is at the heart of modern KL. I remember coming here 15 years ago to buy like basketball jerseys. This place is really cool. It's a combination of massive shopping malls, rooftop bars, street shops selling all kinds of stuff, and also places where you can get a massage for cheap. So continuing my $100 luxury challenge, I'm gonna try to find a place that gives me like a massage or a foot massage. Maybe a foot massage because I'm really sweaty and I don't want anyone to touch me right now. Thank you, brother. Okay, Kodaf is ran into a massive group of Bangladeshis who wanted to take a photo. It's so wild walking around here. I see a lot of signs saying tigers, so I guess this is a place where people don't only go out to eat, they also go out to grab a beer. More durians.
Guys, durian, very good durian.
A body massage. Is it like here? Right here?
Inside.
I'll do a 30-minute.
Yeah, 30 minutes butt massage, no full body. Butt only.
Only butt?
Only butt. You do the 30-minute foot and shoulder.
30-minute foot?
Yeah.
And
50 minutes.
So 45 minutes total?
50 ringgit.
I'll do that. Here? Okay, I'm getting a foot and shoulder massage here for 45 minutes. I'm very sweaty, sorry.
Relax.
Okay, foot massages in general feel really good, but you have to realize this is after I'd been walking 30,000 steps a day for 4 days in Malaysia and Brunei. So this was something straight out of heaven. Usually I'm very ticklish, but this was so nice. Yes, yeah, feels good, thank you.
Where you from?
Bangladesh? Yeah. Sorry?
Name?
Nadir. What's your name?
Maya?
Maya, nice to meet you. Are you from Malaysia?
No, I'm from Myanmar.
Myanmar, okay. Yes, we're neighbors. Are you from the capital city in Myanmar? From where? Kai? Yeah. I've never been to Myanmar. Now it's time for the shoulder massage, and thankfully my shoulders have dried up a bit from the AC.
Are you full?
No, I'm ticklish. And this is where the massage started to get interesting. At first she was getting the deep tissue with all the good spots. And then this part was fine too. I guess this was just stretching out the joints. Now, it started off with a simple like hair or head massage. Now you start to hear the cracking. And this is the part that got kind of crazy. I mean, it felt good, but honestly, I don't know if that's the safest thing to do. This also felt good, but yeah, I don't know if this is standard practice. At this point, I was just getting stretched from every possible angle and literally getting my tailbone kicked for a massage, but honestly, all of that still felt really, really good.
Okay.
Thank you. That was incredible. I feel like a new man. Thank you, Maya.
50 ringgit, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was incredible. And it's 9:30 and I want to head back home. I was trying to get out of that busy zone, but was literally stuck in pedestrian traffic for 20 minutes. So this is a new day, but I'm going to a different place where you have to go if you come to Kuala Lumpur. I could have gone yesterday, honestly, if I wasn't sleeping for half the day. And Grab is costing me like $4. North of the city of Kuala Lumpur is the Batu Caves complex, which is like a series of caves with Hindu temples that were built over 100 years ago. Apparently there are a lot of monkeys that like to steal shit, so I gotta be careful with my belongings for the rest of the way. And there are definitely more monkeys than I expected over here. I think I'm actually at the proper base right now. That was just like some entrance path earlier. I see a lot of temples around me, also with a lot of monkeys on them. Very ornately decorated temples on every side. And the big statue, which is like 40 meters or 140 feet high, of a Hindu god. And I see the steps right next to them, which I'm gonna try to climb right now. Only at the start of this hike. But these steps are pretty steep. I think I'm almost at the top. And what's cool about this, which I couldn't tell from the bottom, is that whole area at the top is like a big like hemisphere of a cave. Man, that area outside was just the beginning. This cave is huge. And I see more stairs up ahead. So looks like I gotta go down, then go up a bit. I'm sweating so much. Okay, I've reached the end of the caves, it seems. At the end, there's a few more statues and a temple where some like Hindu prayer ritual is going on. And there's some kind of construction going on too. Maybe they're renovating it. All right, time to go back the way I came from. Heading down and glad to be done with any uphill steps for the day. Finish off the video, I've come back to KL Central to Perdana Botanical Garden. It's a beautiful park that you can also enjoy for free, like a lot of the temples that we visited, which are also free. If you are the kind of person that goes for a run, this would be the place to do it. So now I'm just gonna recap everything we did in our $100 challenge. First, there was the express metro from the airport. I'm gonna count that. That was like $16. Then there was the luxurious Airbnb, I would say, with a gym, a swimming pool, co-working space, all of that for $34. Then I had that really nice cafe brunch for $11. Then we went to the Chinatown and temples, which is all free. Had a dinner in Chinatown at a sit-in restaurant for $6. Got a massage for $12, which I had gotten a longer one, honestly. That was really nice. And then every single taxi that we've taken on this trip for this video, I'd say comes out to around $20. So all of that combined is $99. This just goes to show that if you want to visit someplace, see the culture, see the city, learn about a country, all while like, you know, living a bit of a luxurious lifestyle without spending too much, Kuala Lumpur might be the place for you. I really enjoyed my time here, and I've only been here during the weekdays, so it'd be really nice to come back during the weekend and see like what the city becomes like during the weekend. I've heard it's pretty different. It's such a multicultural city. I think that's my favorite part about it. It's got such great infrastructure, which makes it really easy to travel around. It's also like surprisingly affordable. That's the point of this video. I can see how this would be a nice place to spend a long time in, or just to come for a short vacation and do what I did. That's it for this video. If you like this video and you want to watch more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you want real-time travel updates, you can follow me on Instagram at Nadir on the go. I'll see you guys in the next video from I'm not sure where yet, but probably somewhere far from Malaysia.